5 ways you talk yourself out of bold moves. You've had the idea. You've seen the window. You knew it was time to move. And then your own voice talked you out of it. Not the market, not the competition, not bad luck. You. Welcome to Business Execution Central, where leaders get it done. Today, I'm giving you 5 ways you talk yourself out of bold moves, even when you have everything you need. And some of these are going to force you to look in the mirror. Let's get serious. Self-talk isn't soft. It's a leadership problem. Every time your internal narrative overrides your judgment, it costs you. Decisions that needed 24 hours and got 6 months instead. Leverage you built and never deployed. Momentum that required 1 move to lock in, and you never made it. And the compound cost of every version of yourself that stayed quiet. Because every time you talk yourself out of the bold move, you train your brain to reach for the brake first. The pattern becomes the default, and the default runs your business. Here's the truth most content skips. The loudest voice in your head isn't the smartest one. And yet, it's been making your most important decisions. Let's break it down. Here are 5 ways you talk yourself out of bold moves. Even when the timing is right. Even when the data is there. Even when you've been building toward this. And if you can recognize yourself in these, you can fix it. Way number 1 is the one that sounds most like wisdom. Way number 1. You dress caution up as strategy. You're not scared. You're being smart about it. You're not stalling. You're making sure the timing is right. You delay the launch because the market might shift. You hold the pitch back because you need to tighten the deck first. You postpone the hire because you want to be sure. The deck is done. You've reviewed it 12 times. You know it's done. But finishing it meant you'd have to actually send it. And sending it means finding out what the answer is. Ask yourself, if you had no fear of failure, would you still be waiting? Caution is a tool. The version you're running is a disguise. Way number 2 is the one that quietly drives the most decisions. Way number 2. You wait for permission. You'll never write yourself. You want someone to confirm it's a good idea. A mentor, a peer, a market signal. Something external that says, go. You've pitched the concept to 6 people and still haven't committed. You're collecting opinions when what you really want is someone to share the risk. You'd move immediately if someone you respected said, this is the one. The problem isn't that no one believes in it. The problem is you don't. Not enough to move without backup. Bold moves don't need consensus. They need a decision. And that's the part only you can make. Way number 3 is where self-talk does its most expensive work. Way number 3. You negotiate the risk up and the reward down. You run the downside scenario in full detail. The upside gets 1 sentence. You can describe exactly how this fails. You can barely articulate what success looks like. You apply hard scrutiny to the bold move and generous assumptions to staying put. You treat inaction as neutral, when staying put has a cost you refuse to calculate. You're sitting on the decision. You've listed 15 ways it could go wrong. You've given 0 time to what your business looks like in 12 months if you don't move. That's not analysis. That's fear dressed up as math. Non-negotiable. Staying put isn't the safe choice. It's just the comfortable one. Before we continue, hit like and subscribe so you stay updated. All right, let's step back in. Way number 4 is the one that hits deepest, because it targets your identity. Way number 4. You make yourself the wrong comparison. You read the case study, the growth numbers, the timeline, and instead of using it as a signal that it's possible, you use it as proof you're not ready. They had connections I don't have. They were in the right place at the right time. They had resources I haven't built yet. Your first thought wasn't, what did they do? It was, I couldn't do that. You already decided the outcome before you studied the pattern. That's not self-awareness. That's a conclusion looking for evidence. The discipline isn't ignoring the gap. It's refusing to let the gap become the reason. Other people's success is data about what's possible, not a verdict on you. Way number 5 is the one you dress up as self-awareness, and it's the most dangerous of all. Way number 5. You use realistic as a synonym for scared. I'm just being realistic is the most sophisticated form of self-sabotage because it sounds responsible, and responsible is hard to argue with. You call it managing expectations when you're actually managing your exposure. You've lowered what you're willing to attempt, so the disappointment doesn't hit as hard. You've convinced yourself your current ceiling is actually your floor. You've been realistic for 2 years. The goal that felt too ambitious in year 1 is still sitting there, and you're still calling yourself realistic. Let that land. Realism isn't the problem. Weaponized realism, the kind you use to preempt your own ambition, that's the problem. Bold isn't reckless. It's refusing to shrink before anyone even asks you to. Here's your Business Execution Central challenge today. Take the one from this list you've used most in the last 30 days. Write down the exact words you said to yourself, the exact decision it stopped. Then write one sentence. What would the bold move have been if that voice hadn't won? You have 60 minutes. Not tonight, not tomorrow, this hour. Because self-doubt dies when execution begins. And you can't start that until you've named what's been stopping you. Thank you for watching Business Execution Central. If this meant something to you, share it with someone who needs it right now. We would be grateful if you took the time to share, subscribe, and follow our channel. I'll see you in the next one. And if this already got you thinking, the next part goes even deeper. You don't want to miss it. Your move. Let's go. Business Execution Central, where leaders get it done.